I caught my Stepson in my room. What I discovered left me shattered. Asterisk, the house is too quiet. That kind of quiet that feels like it's holding its breath. I shouldn't be awake, but something in me stirs, tugging me from the fragile edges of sleep. A sound, faint, a soft click of a door down the hall. The whisper of footsteps moving where they shouldn't. I sit up in bed, pulse steadying in my throat. My husband sleeps beside me, heavy and undisturbed. For a moment I watch him, his chest rising and falling, his mouth slack with exhaustion. I wonder if he hears it too. But he doesn't move. I slip from the sheets, bare feet brushing against the cold wood floor, and step carefully toward the door. My robe clings loosely to me, silk against skin, whispering with each careful movement. The house seems to lean in with me, listening. The sound comes again, lighter this time, familiar, almost playful, and then I see it. The door to my own room, my private sanctuary at the end of the hall, open just a crack. Light from the moon slices across the floorboards, spilling inside, and within that sliver of space, a figure moves, tall, lean, but uncertain in his steps. My Stepson. My breath catches. He doesn't see me. His back is turned as he wanders through my room, fingers brushing along the vanity, tracing the fabric of a shawl I'd left across the chair. His movements are careful, almost reverent, not a boy's trespass, something else. I press against the wall, watching, torn between stepping in and holding back. He pauses, lifts a framed photograph, one of me and his father at some gala years ago, both of us smiling like strangers who'd been asked to pose. His eyes linger on my face, not his father's. There's something unsettling about the intimacy of it, this intrusion cloaked in silence. But there's something else too, a charge I don't want to name. Finally, I push the door wider. "Ethan," I whisper. He startles, nearly dropping the frame, and spins toward me. The moonlight cuts across his face, shadowing the sharp line of his jaw, the flicker of guilt in his eyes. "Stepmom." His voice breaks, awkward, low. I'm sorry. I didn't mean." "Why are you here?" My words come quieter than I intend. A softness wrapped around steel. He sets the frame back carefully, hands trembling just enough to betray him. "I couldn't sleep. I just wanted to look around. That's all. In my room." His silence answers me. The air thickens. My robe slips slightly at the shoulder, and his eyes flicker to the movement before darting back up, guilty again. He's young, yes, but no longer a boy. There's an edge of manhood in the way he holds himself, trying to mask vulnerability with a kind of borrowed strength. I take a step closer. He doesn't retreat. "Ethan," I murmur, softer now, "you can't be in here. You know that." "No." His voice steadies, though just barely. I wasn't doing anything wrong. You were in my room." I remind him, though my tone lacks the sharpness it should, because part of me doesn't want to scold. Part of me wants to understand. He swallows, throat shifting in the shadows. "It just feels different here. Warmer, like it's not his." The words hang heavy. My stomach twists, not his. For a moment, I glance back toward my bedroom where his father still sleeps, blissfully unaware. And in that small, suspended silence, I realize something. Ethan didn't stumble in here by accident. He came searching for something. Something about me. Something about us. I should send him away. Shut the door. Pretend none of this happened. Instead, I find myself saying, "If you're restless, you could have gone anywhere. Why here?" He doesn't answer immediately. His gaze lingers on me, and in that gaze is something unspoken: curiosity, longing, maybe even resentment. He wets his lips, takes a slow breath. "Because when I'm in here," he says finally, "I don't feel invisible." The words strike deeper than I expect, rooting themselves inside me. Invisible. I know that feeling far too well. The quiet erasure that comes when you live beside a man who saves his warmth for the world outside, but brings home only silence. My chest tightens. My voice, when it comes, is almost a whisper. "Ethan." He steps closer now, just a fraction, but enough that I feel the heat of his nearness. His scent clean, fresh soap. Something undeniably alive brushes against me. My pulse races. But then movement behind me. A cough, a stir. His father. I glance back down the hall, then back at Ethan. His eyes widen, a mix of fear and defiance flickering there, without another word. He slips past me, silent as shadow, disappearing into the darkness. The air he leaves behind feels charged, unsettled, alive. I stand frozen, robe loose at my shoulders, heart hammering against my ribs. What just happened was nothing, and yet it was everything. Because now I can't stop wondering, what is he really searching for, and what, exactly, will he find? The next morning, the house pretends it normal. Sunlight spills through tall windows. Warm against the breakfast table, the smell of coffee mingles with the faint sweetness of toast. My husband sits opposite me, scanning headlines on his tablet, barely speaking. The clink of his spoon against porcelain is louder than his voice. Across the table, Ethan chews in silence. His eyes flicker up to mine once, then quickly away. He's careful, controlled, but I feel it, the hum between us, fragile as glass and twice as dangerous. I stir sugar into my coffee, slower than necessary. My husband mutters something about a meeting, about being late. He doesn't look up when he rises, doesn't notice how my gaze lingers on Ethan instead, and then he's gone. Just like that. The door clicks, and the house exhales into silence. Again, I can feel Ethan watching me now. Not furtive, not shy, watching. "You didn't say anything," he says finally, his voice low, as though even the walls might be listening. I look up, meeting his gaze. "About last night." He nods once. I take a sip of coffee, let the silence stretch. Then I say, "What would I say?" His lips twitch, not quite a smile, more like relief, shaded with something else. "Something dangerous. I thought you'd tell him." "Do you want me to?" The question stills him. His eyes darken, his shoulders shift. "No." The word is firm, solid, too quick. I lean back, letting it hang there between us, warm and heavy. "You shouldn't have been in my room." I remind him, softer now. "I know," he says, his gaze lowering, then lifting again with a spark of defiance. But I couldn't help it. A pause, my breath catches before I speak. "Why?" The corner of his mouth curves, almost a challenge. "You know why." I do know, and yet hearing it unsaid makes my skin prickle. The kitchen feels too small, too intimate. His nearness unsettles me, though he hasn't moved from his chair. The sunlight hits him just so, catching the tousled edge of his hair, the sharpness of his jaw. He looks older today, or maybe I'm only just noticing. I push back from the table. I should get dressed, but as I rise, his chair scrapes softly against the tile. He follows Dot in the hallway. The air is cooler, but my pulse runs hot. His footsteps are close, a deliberate shadow. "Ethan," I murmur, not turning back. "Yes?" His voice is closer than I expect. "You're playing with fire, maybe." His tone shifts, half daring, half confession. "But you're not walking away either." The words stop me. I turn, slow, measured. He's only a step away now, his eyes locked on mine. For a moment neither of us breathes. Then he does something reckless. He lifts his hand, just slightly, as if to touch the loose edge of my sleeve. His fingers hover, a whisper of heat, not quite contact. I should step back. I'd on single quotes T. Instead, I let the silence stretch. Let him feel how close he is to crossing something neither of us can undo. "You don't know what you're doing," I whisper. His gaze dips to my lips, then back up again. "Don't I?" My heart stutters. The front door slams open. My husband's voice booms through the house, frustrated, cursing about forgotten files. Ethan drops his hand instantly, steps back as though burned. The air collapses between us. I smooth my robe, force my voice. "Steady, go," I whisper. He does. Quick, silent, vanishing around the corner, just as his father storms into the hall. Muttering about his briefcase, I nod, smile faintly, feign composure. But inside, everything trembles, because Ethan's right. I didn't walk away, and now the fire has started. The rain begins that evening. It falls in soft sheets against the tall windows of the living room, streaking the glass, turning the world outside into something blurred and unreal. The fire is lit, crackling low, filling the house with a faint scent of cedar. "My husband is away dinner with colleagues," he said, though he barely looked at me when he left. I should relish the solitude, but I'm restless. I curl on the sofa with a book I can't seem to read. fingers tracing the same page over and over. The shadows of the firelight flicker across the walls, and somewhere upstairs, I hear the soft tread of footsteps. I know it's him. A few minutes later, Ethan lingers at the edge of the room. He doesn't step forward immediately, just watches me with that quiet, searching gaze of his. "You're not sleeping either?" he asks. I close the book gently. "No." He nods, as though he'd expected that. His hair is damp, darkened by the rain, his shirt clinging faintly at the shoulders. He looks older than he should, carrying something heavy behind his eyes. "Sit," I say, softer than I intend. He does, not beside me, but not far away either, close enough that I feel the weight of his presence. The firelight warms the sharp planes of his face, throws gold into his eyes. For a long moment, we just listen to the rain. Finally, he says, "You didn't tell him." My breath catches. "I told you I wouldn't." "But why?" His voice dips low, curious, almost pained. "You could have. You should have. Maybe I don't always do what I should." The admission hangs between us, unsteady, fragile. Ethan leans forward, elbows on his knees, eyes locked on me. "Then tell me this. What do you see when you look at him? At my father?" I hesitate. My pulse drums in my ears. I see a man who stopped looking back. The truth slips out before I can cage it. His gaze sharpens, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. "I know," he murmurs. I see it too. Something in me aches. I look down at my hands, fingers twisting the fabric of my robe. His voice softens, barely above the crackle of the fire. "You deserve more than that." The words strike deep, unraveling threads I've tried to hold together. My throat tightens. "Ethan," when I look up again, he's closer. Not touching, just closer. His nearness pulls the air taut, makes every breath feel like a choice. His hand hovers on the armrest between us, fingers brushing so close to mine that the heat of them feels like contact. I whisper, "This isn't right." "Maybe not." His eyes burn into mine. "But it's true." The rain drums harder against the windows, louder now, as if the world itself is pushing us together. I can't move. I don't want to. My skin hums with awareness, my chest tight, with something I can't name. And then, just as the silence teeters on the edge of something irreversible, the phone rings. I jolt, heart slamming against my ribs. He leans back quickly, breaking the spell, dragging his hand away as though the sound itself burned us. I answer the call. It's my husband, voice brisk, asking about files, about nothing that matters. My responses are clipped, automatic, while my entire body trembles from what almost happened. When I hang up, Ethan is still watching me, his jaw clenched, his hands balled into fists against his knees. "I should go," he says roughly, rising before I can answer. And then he's gone, leaving me with the fire, the rain, and the echo of what almost was. Sleep doesn't come. The storm rages through the night, rattling the windows, shaking loose everything I've tried to hold steady. I toss, turn, finally give in to the pull that drags me from bed. The house is dark, except for a thin strip of light beneath one door. Ethan's. I hesitate in the hallway, robe pulled close, heart racing. I should turn back. I should. But I knock softly. There's a pause, then his voice, low. "Comin'." The room is dim, lit only by the lamp on his desk. He sits at the edge of his bed, book open, but forgotten. When he sees me, something shifts in his eyes, surprise. Then something deeper, heavier. "I couldn't sleep," I murmur. He nods once, as though he understands without needing more. I step inside, closing the door quietly behind me. The air feels charged, the storm outside a backdrop to the storm between us. For a moment, I don't move. Neither does he. The space between us is thick with what we're both refusing to say. Finally, I whisper, "About earlier." He stands slowly, crossing the room until he's close enough that I feel the warmth radiating from him. I can't stop thinking about it. He admits. His voice is raw, stripped bare. "About you." The words make my breath falter. His hand lifts, tentative, brushing the edge of my sleeve. This time he doesn't pull back. His fingers graze my wrist, light as silk, a touch that feels more dangerous than any embrace. I should retreat. Instead, I stay. "You're making this impossible," I whisper, "or maybe I'm making it honest." His gaze holds mine, unflinching. Tell me you don't feel it too, and I'll stop. I open my mouth, but no words come, because I do. Feel it. Every nerve, every heartbeat screams it. Silence stretches, fragile and heavy. His hand rises, cupping my cheek, his thumb brushing just beneath my eye. The gentleness of it undoes me. Ethan, my voice breaks. He leans closer, so close his breath fans across my lips. I shouldn't, he murmurs, then don't. My whisper trembles, but neither of us moves away. The first brush of his mouth against mine is fleeting, almost not a kiss at all, just the ghost of one, testing, trembling, alive. But it ignites something, a spark that rushes through me, leaving me unsteady. He pulls back first, breathing hard, eyes searching mine with equal parts hunger and fear. I'm sorry, he whispers, though everything in him says he isn't. My chest rises, falls. Don't be. We stand there, caught in the aftermath of a kiss that felt like a secret detonating. The storm outside thunders, but it's nothing compared to the storm inside me. Then a sound. Footsteps, the creak of a floorboard down the hall. We freeze. The moment shatters, replaced by panic, by the sharp edge of reality clawing its way back. I step back quickly, pulse racing. He clenches his fists, frustration written across his face. I move toward the door, whispering, this can't happen again. But the lie tastes bitter even as I speak it, because it already has, and I know so. Does he that it will again? The days that follow feel like walking along a precipice. I go through the motions, breakfasts, conversations, the practiced rhythm of a marriage that has long since cooled into routine. My husband leaves early, comes home late, his attention divided between business calls and empty gestures. He doesn't notice the shift in me. Or maybe he does, and chooses not to look. But Ethan sees, always, the glances that last too long. The way silence hums like a taut wire whenever we're alone in the same room. Every breath feels like a held secret. Every step, a risk. One evening, it happens. The house empties again. My husband called away to some dinner, his voice brisk, as he fastens his cufflinks, not bothering to ask if I'll join. Ethan lingers in the doorway as his father leaves. The sound of the engine fades into the night. The quiet that follows is thick, expectant. I try to distract myself, pour wine, light a candle, put music on low. But I feel him before I see him. He's behind me, closer than he should be. His voice, a low murmur, you're shaking. I glance down, realize the glass in my hand trembles faintly. I'm fine. No. He steps closer. His presence wraps around me, a heat I can't escape. You're not. I turn slowly, and there he is. His eyes bright, searching, a live fix on me with a kind of reverence that makes my chest ache. Ethan, my voice is barely a whisper. He takes the glass from my hand, sets it down carefully on the counter. His fingers linger against mine for a beat too long. Then his hand lifts, brushes a strand of hair from my cheek. The gentleness undoes me. Why are you doing this? I ask, though the question trembles, more plea than protest. His jaw tightens, because I can't pretend anymore. My pulse stutters, and if someone finds out, they won't. His voice sharpens, fierce with conviction. I'd never let them. The air between us hums, alive with everything we've tried. Not to say. He leans in, so close I feel his breath. My heart slams against my ribs, my hands tightening at my sides. You're making this impossible, I whisper. Then stop me. His words are a challenge, but his eyes are soft, almost vulnerable. Tell me to walk away, and I will. I can't. The silence answers for me. His lips find mine, no hesitation this time. The kiss is hungry, desperate, as though we've both been starving. My hands rise instinctively, gripping his shirt, pulling him closer. His arms circle me, strong, anchoring, and for the first time in so long, I feel seen, wanted, alive. The world tilts, the room dissolves. There's only him, his mouth, his touch, the unspoken truth breaking free at last. When we part, breathless, my forehead rests against his. My voice cracks on a whisper. This will destroy everything. His reply comes rough, fierce. Maybe. It's already broken. The night stretches on, electric. We retreat to the sofa, the candlelight flickering around us. Ethan sits close, his knee brushing mine, his hand covering mine with a certainty that steadies me even as it sets me trembling. For the first time, words spill from us like confessions we've been holding too long. I see the way he treats you, Ethan says, voice taut, like you're invisible, like he doesn't realize what he has. His fingers tighten around mine. But I see you. My throat tightens. The truth stings, because it's what I've always feared, that I'd become something ornamental. A presence, not a partner. You shouldn't say these things, I murmur. Though part of me clings to every syllable, I can't not. His gaze burns into mine, unwavering. When you walk into a room, it feels different. You change it. You change me. The words break something in me. A sob rises, unbidden. Caught between grief and relief, his thumb brushes the edge of my hand, grounding me, daring me to stay in the moment. And I do. I lean into him, not just for his warmth, but for the truth of him, the way he looks at me, the way he doesn't look away. My hands tremble as I touch his jaw, rough beneath my fingertips. His breath hitches, and then he covers my hand with his, holding it there as though afraid I'll pull away. I don't know how to stop this, I confess. My voice is raw, stripped bare. Don't, he whispers, don't stop. Not with me. The words ignite something wild inside me. His mouth finds mine again, slower this time, deeper. As though memorizing me, I melt against him, letting the kiss say all the things we can't. It's not just passion, it's something more dangerous. It's trust, it's need, it's every unspoken ache made flesh when we finally part. His forehead rests against mine. His voice breaks with urgency. Say you feel it too, and I do. God, I do. But the words stick, tangled in fear. I can't, I whisper, shaking. You already did. He breathes, his thumb brushing my cheek where a tear has slipped free. The storm outside has quieted now, but inside, the tempest rages. I know this moment can't last, that morning will come, and with it, consequences we can't undo. But right now, in the glow of firelight and the heat of his hands, none of that matters. For the first time in years, I feel alive, and that terrifies me more than anything. Morning comes too soon. The storm has passed, leaving the house steeped in a brittle kind of quiet. I move through the kitchen, the smell of coffee rising, the faint tick of the clock louder than it should be. Across the table, my husband scrolls through his phone, irritation etched into every line of his face. He mutters about meetings, deadlines, clients. He doesn't look at me, not once, but Ethan does. He lingers at the doorway, freshly showered, hair damp, shirt unbuttoned just enough to show the line of his collarbone. His gaze catches mine for only a heartbeat, but it's enough to stir the memory of last night, the firelight, his hands, the kiss that changed everything that my husband doesn't notice. Or maybe he refuses to. He snaps his briefcase shut, stands, presses a perfunctory kiss against my cheek. Cold, habitual, nothing more. Then he's gone. The silence that follows is deafening. Ethan steps inside, slow, deliberate. His voice is low, taut. You can't keep living like this. I look up sharply. Ethan, no. He shakes his head, eyes burning. He doesn't see you. He doesn't care. And you deserve more than being someone's afterthought. The words slice through me. My hands tighten on the mug, knuckles white. You don't understand. This marriage, it's not just about love, it's security. It's the life I built. If I let that go, you'd still be you. He cuts in fiercely. You'd still be more than enough. His conviction steals my breath. I whisper, you don't know what you're asking. I do. His jaw tightens, his voice rough with something dangerously close to desperation. I'm asking you not to keep choosing silence when everything in you is screaming for more. My chest aches, because he's right, and because I know what it will cost us both. Before I can speak, a sound interrupts the slam of a door, heavy footsteps. My husband's voice, sharp, angry, filling the hall. Where is it? He barks, storming into the room, face flushed with fury. Where the hell is it? I rise quickly, startled. What, my watch? He snaps. The gold one. It's gone. His eyes dart between us, suspicion already narrowing them. Ethan stiffens beside me. His father's gaze lands on him, hard, accusing. Did you take it? No. Ethan's voice is steady, but the tension in his body is unmistakable. The room thickens with silence. My husband's glare shifts, sharp and venomous to me. And why were you both standing so close just now? The question hangs like a blade. My heart slams. For a second, I can't breathe. He sees it. He feels it. The crack in the facade we've been hiding. Nothing, I force out, voice shaking. We were just talking. But the light tastes like ash. Ethan's jaw clenches. His fists tight at his sides. My husband sneers, mutters something about boundaries and respect, and storms upstairs, his anger echoing in every step. When the sound fades, I collapse into the chair, trembling. Ethan kneels in front of me, his hands covering mine. You can't keep living like this, he repeats. Softer now, but with no less urgency. You don't have to. My throat tightens, tears slipping free. If I walk away, everything changes. He leans closer, eyes searching mine with raw intensity. Then let it. And in that moment, I know the truth is already out, whether spoken or not. There's no going back. The evening arrives heavy, thick with the weight of choices. My husband is gone again, this time to a hotel, after our argument curdled into silence. He didn't take his suitcase, just his phone, his wallet, and the cold satisfaction of leaving me with the wreckage. I wander into my private room, the one Ethan first stepped into, the place where this all began. The moonlight spills across the floorboards, silver and soft. The framed photograph still sits on the vanity, tilted slightly, as though someone had once held it too long. The door creaks behind me. Ethan. He closes it quietly, his eyes never leaving mine. For a long moment, neither of us speaks. The silence feels sacred, heavy with everything unsaid. Finally, I whisper, "It's over." His breath catches. "You mean?" I told him the truth, I say, voice trembling. Not about us, not yet, but enough to end it. The weight of the admission presses into the room. Ethan steps forward, slow, careful, until he's standing inches away. His hand lifts, brushing a tear from my cheek with unbearable gentleness. "You're free now," he murmurs. I nod, though the ache in my chest feels anything but free. "And lost," I whisper. "Then let me find you." His words are fierce, tender, breaking me open. The dam inside me shatters. I fall into him, arms circling his neck, mouth meeting his with all the hunger, all the grief, all the desperate need we've both been holding back. This kiss is different, not stolen, not hesitant. It is a claim, a promise, a surrender. His hands anchor me, his body pulling me against him, and for the first time in years, I don't feel invisible. I feel alive. We break only when breath demands it. Foreheads pressed, together, hearts pounding in unison. "I don't care what comes," Ethan whispers, his voice raw. "As long as it's with you." Tears blur my vision, but I smile through them. "You shouldn't have to carry me. I want to." His words are unshakable, filled with the kind of devotion I never thought I'd hear. I choose to. The room holds us, moonlight painting our faces. The photograph on the vanity watching silently as if it knows the truth at last. I breathe him in, memorize the feel of him, the certainty in his eyes. Whatever tomorrow brings, scandal, whispers, loss, it cannot take away this moment. Because tonight, against all odds, I am no longer unseen, no longer erased. I am his, and he is mine.